across the sky. Stretch across the sky. Stretch across the sky.
The way is clear. Return, stretch the Guru of Prakogyua, and of him who is not named. Ever praises in abundance to the black goat of the woods. Ayla Nagurath, the goat with 1,000 young, for thou hast seen the dark universe yawning, the lost place where black planets roll without aim. Too long have thou dwelt in that cold captivity, beyond the mercy of time. The way is clear. Return.
Lovecraft's mother, Sarah Susan Phillips Lovecraft, could trace her ancestry to the 17th century. She had very much considered the family to be of, at least, pseudo-aristocratic lineage.
The way is clear. Return and rule.
Yog-Sothoth is the key and the guardian of the gate. He knows where the old ones have trod Earth's fields and that they will tread once more. Sorcerer, emissary, changeling, outsider, thou art the whisper in the dark.
For 1,000,000 years the voice in man's ear. Seducer, shaper of foul deed and betrayal. All was prelude and preparation. We empty our hearts in your name. Teacher, master, complete us. The things outside become the things inside. The waiting end.
While Lovecraft's father, Winfield Scott Lovecraft, was a travelling salesman who derived from a family line that originated in Devon, in the UK, the family having migrated to New York State in the early 19th century. I can see myself as a child of 2.5 on the railway bridge at Auburndale, Massachusetts, looking across and downward at the business part of the town and feeling the imminence of some wonder which I could neither describe nor fully conceive. And there has never been a subsequent hour of my life when kindred sensations have been absent. When Lovecraft was 3, his father suffered a mental breakdown and was placed in Butler Hospital in Providence, where he remained for 5 years before dying on July 19, 1898. Lovecraft was apparently told that his father was paralysed and comatose during this period, but the surviving medical evidence makes it clear that Winfield died of syphilis, and that he also suffered from hallucinations. Rl'yeh, The Butler Hospital medical record reads as follows. For a year past he has shown obscure symptoms of mental disease, doing and saying strange things at times, has also grown pale and thin in flesh. He continued his business, however, until April 21st, when he broke down completely whilst stopping in Chicago. He rushed from his room, shouting that a chambermaid had insulted him and that certain men were outraging his wife in the room above. He was extremely noisy and violent for 2 days, but was finally quieted by free use of the bromides, which made his removal here possible. We can get no history of specific disease.
The things outside become the things inside. The waiting ends and the journey begins. Consume the darkness between the dimensions. Cross the gulf with a single stride. Here on this threshold is placed a gift. This is my gift. Come forth and receive it.
Later medical records state, says 3 men, 1 a Negro, in the room above trying to do violence to his wife. And then again later, believes his food is poisoned. And then again, boasts of his many friends, his business success, his family, and above all his great strength, asking writer to see how perfectly his muscles are developed. St. Joshi writes, it is difficult to doubt that he contracted syphilis either from a prostitute or from some other sex partner prior to his marriage, either while attending the military academy or during his stint as a commercial traveller. It may be going too far to infer that Winfield was some sort of Casanova or Rl'yeh, but the 2 recorded instances of his hallucination that his wife was being raped certainly point to some form of sexual obsession. One remarkable fact is that Winfield's cousin, Joshua Elliott Lovecraft, died of general paralysis a few months after Winfield, with general paralysis and general paresis being terms which are virtually synonymous, also known as paralysis of the insane, dementia paralytica, Bale's disease, being the most malignant form of tertiary neurosyphilis, consisting of direct invasion of the parenchyma of the brain, producing a combination of both mental and neurological symptoms. Sonia H. Davis, Lovecraft's wife, made the following remarkable assertion in 1969. In my opinion, the elder Lovecraft, having been a travelling salesman for the Gorham silversmiths, and his wife being a touch-me-not, took his sexual pleasures wherever he could find them. For H.P. never had a sister or a brother, and his mother, probably having been sex-starved against her will, lavished both her love and her hate on her only child. With the death of Lovecraft's father, the upbringing of the boy fell to his mother, his aunts, and especially his maternal grandfather, the prominent industrialist Whipple Van Buren Phillips. Lovecraft was reciting poetry at the age of 2, reading at 3, and writing by 6 or 7, with early enthusiasm for Grimm's tales and the Arabian Nights, which he read by the age of 5. At that time he adopted the pseudonym Abdul al-Hazred, which was a name he reused in his stories later for the writer of the dreaded occult tome, the Necronomicon, which I take as an early example of how deep Lovecraft's stories draw from his own inner life. At 6, his Arabian interests were eclipsed by the discovery of Greek mythology. His earliest surviving poem, which he wrote the following year, the poem of Ulysses, is a paraphrase of the Odyssey in 88 lines of internally rhyming verse, though he had already written the story, possibly the year before. The Noble Eavesdropper, it was called, and is no longer existent.
Stars align, space folds, 1,000 worlds merge in a single instant. Crack the band of formlessness, take shape, and come forth!
His grandfather Phillips would entertain Lovecraft with oral weird tales in the Gothic mode, but it was Lovecraft's ecstatic discovery of Edgar Allan Poe in 1898 that put the seal on the matter. As a boy, Lovecraft was somewhat lonely and suffered from frequent illnesses, many apparently psychological. His attendance at school was sporadic, but nonetheless he was absorbing much information through independently reading and study. At the age of 8, he discovered science. First chemistry, then astronomy. He also began to produce hectographed journals. The Scientific Gazette between the ages of 9 and 17, and the Rhode Island Journal of Astronomy between the ages 13 and 17, for distribution among his friends and family. Entering high school, he found his teachers and peers congenial and encouraging, and he developed a number of long-lasting friendships with boys his own age.
Look! So what you wanted to look at it. No, look!
Across the sky.